Okay, so here comes the first groom and bridesmaid. Groomsman and bridesmaid. The master of ceremonies is up there already.
That's Lizzie and Stan.
Ah, there they are. She's the flower. That is great.
Mary's on the phone. Right here.
Thank you, Michael.
Nice. Such a beautiful setting though. Very dramatic. Yes.
Alright. Welcome everyone, family, friends, guests, plus ones. I don't get paid if I don't say this, so we are gathered here today to celebrate the wedding of Nick and Sarah. We've been invited to share in their commitment commitment to one another, to share our love with theirs, and to show the support and affection of those who are closest and most important to them, with, I'm sure, a few exceptions for those who cannot be here today. On behalf of Nick and Sarah, I want to thank you all for coming to camp today, and with special thanks to those who have traveled far to be here today. Now, they would like to ask for your blessings and encouragement as they make official their lifelong union. And they would ask now for your continued support and companionship as they walk, stumble, and no doubt on occasion frolic through life. I've known Nick and Sarah for just a few years, and it was during our last year all living together in Ann Arbor that I accidentally joined their COVID bubble, moving in with some other very special guests who are here today into a house about a 2-minute walk down the street from Nick and Sarah. With a pandemic on and options limited, I got to spend a lot of time with these two. From sweaty home workouts on the living room rug to nights spent less than fully sober, shouting over games of cards, to swooping in vulture-like on Nick's impossibly large shipments of peaches, and to repeated champagne saber mishaps, and to passing out armchair in the middle of their holiday party. I feel blessed to have known these two as a couple from the start, and honored to be able to share in this moment with them and with all of you here today. Now, some of you here today I've known for a while, and some of you I've had the pleasure to meet and get to know only recently or even just this weekend. So I won't presume to tell the many of you who have known Nick and Sarah far longer than I have what you already know. But I want to take this moment to say just how fortunate I feel to be here today and to share this moment with this couple and with all of you. I have not had many friends who I first met as a couple, and I can comfortably say that I have never known two people as natural or obviously inseparable as these two. It never didn't make sense. My perspective might be slightly skewed without much independent memory of either of these two. Or I don't doubt that maybe some of you know a little drama that I don't. But the care and the tenderness that I've seen them show one another, their sympathy for friends and for strangers, their bottomless hospitality, their support for friends and each other, their passions for what they believe in, and the excitement and energy that they share with those who are close to them paints as true an image of love as I have ever seen. Now, before I go on, I want to invite a couple people up to give some readings. First, Annie.
Swirl through the air, pumpkins ripen, and peace take flight. But one lone yellow leaf clings to its branch and thinks, not yet. Not yet, as the harvest moon blooms amber in the starry sky. Not yet, as the nights grow long. Not yet, when there's a dusting of snow. Then, high on an icy branch, there is a flash of scarlet. Another leaf is
Now I'd like to invite up Patricia for another reading.
The following is an excerpt from a letter from author John Steinbeck to his son Tom on the occasion of Tom's engagement. If you are in love, that's a good thing. That's about the best thing that can happen to anyone. Don't let anyone make it small or light to you. There are several kinds of love. One is a selfish, mean, grasping, egotistical thing which uses love for self-importance. That is the ugly and cruel kind. The other is an outpouring of everything good in you, of kindness and consideration and respect. Not only the social respect of manners, but the greater respect is recognition of another person as unique and valuable. The first kind can make you sick and small and weak, but the second can release in you strength and courage and goodness, and even wisdom you didn't know you had. Glory in it, and be very glad and grateful for it. The object of love is the best and most important. Try to live up to it.
Thank you. Now, today, before all of you, Nick and Sarah wish to express their love and commitment to each other in marriage. It's a vow and a promise to stand by each other, for one to catch the other when they stumble in life's difficulties, and to know they will always be there to catch you. It's a reminder that the way forward will never be alone. Marriage is a symbol of that commitment, and it represents the love without which would be dull the seasons of joy and sadness. In that love, we find all of our laughter, and we shed all of our tears. To tie one to another, to let one's thoughts and fears and hopes and dreams flow into another, and to know that they will be shaped together, forming something more beautiful than was possible alone. Not to limit oneself to one's own trials, to share the other's burden, and to feel your own weight lifted. The choice Nick and Sarah make here today is to immerse themselves in life's greatest pleasures and struggles. They stand here today to vow to stand beside each other and give fully their love and support, whether needed or sought, and to fill each other's lives and find themselves fuller, richer, with more meaning in their union. Today before you all, Nick and Sarah wish to form this bond and ask again for the blessing, support, and friendship of all those here. At this time, in a display of love and support for Nick and Sarah, I'll ask you all to please answer out loud. Will you surround Nick and Sarah in love, offering them the gift and the joys of your friendship and support in their marriage? Yes. Thank you. Now, Sarah, do you take this man to be your husband?
I do.
And do you, Nick, take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
Now, at this time, the bride and groom will exchange their vows. These vows complete the promise of their marriage.
Good. Okay. As I am new to the wedding vow genre, I had to do some initial research to make sure I was in the following established traditions. The top advice was to not forget to say, I love you. When planning these vows, my head went through the endless promises I wanted to make you and us. have envisioned. I even took some time to spiral over our wedding to-do list. I suppose, though, I had never actually planned to write those words. I read that advice and remembered the first time you said the words to me. I'm sure you recall that I did not say them back. And instead stiffened and probably said something very awkward like, oh. Hopeless romantic, I know. To be fair, you caught me off guard. After all, you were just some guy I knew from college who tricked me into going on a date. You were just a boy who was soon heading off to a law school in a different state. You were cute, you still are. But love, where did that come from? I have since realized that despite my every outward display of hesitancy, whether running away to Coney Island instead of saying I would be your girlfriend, or insisting I would never move to Michigan before packing up my things and driving to Ann Arbor first, I might add, I knew you were an inevitable fixture in my life. The confidence and trust that you approached our relationship with provided me the assurance I needed to walk toward what would ultimately become a lifelong partnership with my favorite person. Your love is made up of your capacity to care deeply for the people in your life, your smile, your intelligence, your endless trove of TV show and movie quotes that I can never understand. I promise I am learning. Your hello when you open the door coming home from work, your vision of our life and its possibilities, your collection of years of cards and notes from family and friends, your patience. Your love is me watching you make pasta with my roommate's nieces and seeing who you would be as a father. It's hosting Thanksgiving dinner in Michigan, making far too much food and working perfectly in sync. It's you playing piano. I am so glad and grateful to be loved by you, and it is the honor of my life to love you perpetually. As we enter our relationship's next phase, I vow to appreciate the moments when life surprises us, because you were the most wonderful surprise. I vow to approach this marriage with respect and integrity, and to never take for granted the path that led us here and the path we now walk forward together. Nick, I love you all. And I certainly vow to never forget to say that.
I probably shouldn't have agreed to follow an English reader. Sarah, there's so much I want to say to you today, but out of respect to you and the women in heels standing behind you, I'll try to keep it short. To that end, I will be omitting my timely and well-curated references to Scrubs, My Cousin Vinny, Community, Princess Bride, 30 Rock, and every other movie and TV show I've read to quote. I will also do my best to avoid doing a Borat impression, at least until after. This is my first promise to you. Before I get into my other vows, I wanted to take a moment to thank you. Thank you for agreeing to a second date, even though you claim I tricked you into the first you up when you're down and take care of you when you're sick. I promise, even when we have disagreements, I am always on your side and our side. If we have disagreements where I turn out to be right, I promise not to gloat too much. I promise to tuck you in and say goodnight, even when I'm working late. I promise to listen to you before I give advice, and I promise to seek your advice and listen to you when I'm down. I promise to always stop on road trips so you can buy your scratchers. And I promise to keep playing the Powerball until I can afford the lifestyle you deserve. I promise to keep making new memories with you while keeping the old ones alive. Although I also promise to keep references to carrot cake out of it. Again, at least until after dinner. You're such an amazingly wonderful human being, and I promise to try to live up to your example. Sarah, you made my life so much richer, and I hope I've done the same for you. I promise to be around for all the highs and lows to come. I love you, and it's really a privilege to be caring for you.
With this exchange of words, signified the bond embodied by the unbroken bands that the couple will now exchange. Do you have the rings? Nick, please repeat after me. And then you repeat after me. Sarah, I give you this ring as an unbroken reminder of my love for you.
Sarah, I give you this ring as a reminder of my unbreaking love for you.
Close enough. Sarah, please repeat after me. Nick, I give you this ring as an unbroken reminder of my love for you.
Nick, I give you this ring as an unbroken reminder.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss.
Congratulations, guys. Stan, congratulations. Here we go. Ellen, here we go.
Is this marriage?
Fantastic. No, this is Mike Nielsen videos. I covered the whole ceremony, and it was a beautiful. Very good. And Nancy and Steve? Nicholas. Sorry, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas is the name.
Yes, it is the name.
Everyone, just say Nicholas.
Excellent.